Hey, hey, what up, what up? It is Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you.
We just both were patient, or is like someone jump in there? Hey, I'm Bogard, scot free. We're the most high, we the most lit.
Yeah.
And I am Captain Spaulding. No, it's the Neon Peacock here.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Shout out to our man Hurst, who's tuning in from the Silver Screen Breakdowns YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on replay, make sure you go subscribe over there to that channel. And he said, Dr. Satan.
That's right. Dr. Satan. Dr. Satan.
Tonight, if you haven't guessed it already, we're bringing to you now what is known as a Rob Zombie classic, right?
Yeah. His directorial debut,
Mm-hmm.
House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. How many movies has he done, including this one? So he's done this one, The Devil's Rejects, which is a sequel. Halloween, he did his rendition. Not sure what this one is, but The Werewolf Women of
the SS. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, that's the Grindhouse one, right?
Right, yeah. So that's the short little like preview flick during the intermission of the two Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse films, which was Planet Terror and Death Proof, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I saw that whole thing at the theater. That was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, they had like intermissions and stuff. Like it was like
I didn't get up on the intermission. I was watching that Werewolf Women of the SS.
Yeah, we watched that in the drive-thru or the drive-ins.
That's the best way to do that.
Yeah.
We have one here locally still.
It was really nostalgic.
The Westmer. That's where we used to, take the high school dates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we used to bust out the little baby grill. You queued up, just stand. We'd have like 4 or 5 cars, and we just leave one spot in between us open. And we just kick it like that. We'd have the windows open so you can hear the joint. And then we used to do, man. That was like when we weren't old enough to like go out. That was like one of the go-tos. And in the drive-ins, it's a sound where I'm from, San Jose. It's a San Jose landmark, basically. You know what I mean? Still exists. And if you went far to the left of the entrance, there's because there was a chain link fence that kind of you just far to the left, there was a gate, and it was always the gate. All you had to do was lift up the little latch, and we'll just drive.
It was like a chain.
Yeah, it was the area, I'm assuming, where, because it was right by the dumpsters, so I'm assuming this is where the trucks would come in to get the dumpsters, but it would just always be there was no lock on it, and if you knew about it, and everybody did, you know what I mean? So we would just open it, and you just see 4 or 5 cars driving with no lights on, you know what I mean?
So that Hurst has been messing with our show for a while, because he said, "What up, Bogey?" And he said, "Peacock, Vatos Locos forever."
Yeah, for sure. That's a callback all the way to when I think the first time I was on the Silver Screen Breakdowns.
Yeah, and what a one to be on for. Hell yeah, blood in, blood out. That was a good one. And shout out to Wendell and the Trap House. What up, what up?
What's up?
So Rob Zombie, 11 movies that he's directed, including that short that we talked about. The Munsters was the most recent one in 2022. And it all started with House of 1,000 Corpses. And I saw this movie it was either 03 or 04. I mean, it was probably 03. I know it came out in April.
Okay.
April of 2003. Let me see. What was it? April.
I think I didn't see it until probably around the Halloween of that following year or the year after. And I don't remember if I saw it in theaters, because I know we would go almost every other weekend or every Saturday night with my friends and stuff. But I'm not too sure, because, when these are rated certain whatever, it was hard to get a gang of tickets unless somebody was already old enough.
Yeah.
so anyhow, I don't recall if I saw it in theaters, but I know I saw it for sure at my apartment several times, the year after I graduated, when I was in college, at my college apartment. And this thing was on replay all the time, and then people would leave and I'd be the only one there, and I'd watch it, and it was really freaky. Good stuff. great vibes.
Yeah, it was one of my friends who had this on DVD, and so yeah, just after school getting high and watching this.
Yeah, I don't want to give away my rating, but yeah, it was on DVD at my apartment at some point.
Yeah, and like I was telling Hus before the show, I had this DVD before, and one of my homies at the time, right? Let's just say, like, you know, he was just for lack of a better term, he was out of his mind on drugs, crystal meth to be exact.
Oh
and like, so he borrows the movie and he wigs out after he watches it, bro. He's like, and I yo, let me get my movie back. I threw that shit away, bro. Word? Yeah, I had to get that shit out of my house. What?
Like you couldn't just give it back to me to get it out of your house?
Never spoke of it again.
I've had movies where people were like, let me borrow that, and I never saw it again. But it doesn't matter. Funny though,
I was microdosing earlier, watching, like, you know, like powering through it. And yeah, it's really disturbing. Like a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's really a Rob Zombie kind of like, I guess even they were saying too, they shot a lot of the scenes twice. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wanted them even more bloodier, but he had to have a second version of it just in case the studios were like, you know, it's a little too bloody. And what's crazy is like, so what we saw was like the lesser of most of those scenes.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. He's a savage, that's for sure. And Chase said, great movie. My friend let me borrow the trilogy on DVD recently. I like it. I don't like the third one too much. But
I've never seen the third one.
I don't think I've seen it either for some reason.
And it's like, what, do they get out of jail or something? Like, didn't they all die? I thought they all got shot down in the epic fucking Mexican standoff in the end of part 2.
That's where they should have let it end, but they ended up, this was like in the reboot season. It was like 2017 or 19.
Okay.
So it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
So they waited a while though to reboot it.
That one they waited like
was it still under Lionsgate?
I'm pretty sure it was.
You know what though? This is one of those movies. It like debuted number 2 in the box office, and then like, but then like it was a quick release to DVD.
Yeah,
and then like it just kind of birthed this cult following because it was like one of those. Yeah, it was one of those ones. I'm like, hey, you should watch this, right? And then the homie throws the video away, but the DVD away. But then at the same time, like, how many people did that, right? Like, hey, you should watch this. Fucking, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I just remember the movie voiceover guy like, House of Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses. And like the inside joke with a lot of us was like, like Dr. Satan, or people would pop out and like the guitar would just like, and somebody get hacked. So that was like our go-to, like when we'd scare people, like, you know, just around the corner of somebody's house when we're hanging out or whatever. That's how we do the electric guitar.
Hey, okay, in Texas, right?
Like, Chainsaw Massacre.
This movie just makes me remember I'm not driving nowhere through Texas.
I drive through Texas all the time. It's scary as hell. It is scary. At night, it's scary. Like, it's scary right now looking outside my window. Like, why? And that's because I'm not out in the country or anything. I'm in the city, but still, it's scary.
I mean, yeah, I'm just like,
I grew up in the country, though. Grew up right next to a cornfield out in the sticks. Creepy.
Hey, Children of the Corn used to fuck me up too as a kid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I ain't going to no cornfield, bro.
Yeah.
No, we did a lot of cornfield.
The corn maze.
We had a corn maze. Like corn maze. We did corn
maze.
Yeah.
Shout out to Niner MMA. He's always in the chat. He's from Gilas, from Gilroy, and they have like a bunch of those places out there where they have the haunted house farms and the, you know what I mean? And they have the, you know, the corn mazes and like those, you know,
hayrides.
Yeah, in the distance you'll hear, like when you're going through the maze, there's someone in the distance with a chainsaw. Just going, and you're just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, listen, that motherfucker popped up. Listen, I'm running.
Had nothing, none of that in San Diego. We didn't have anything like that. Yeah, so this movie, I remember just first time I saw it, I had really no idea what to expect going in. I mean, my homie just like threw it on, and really we get into the first scene there, and really just, I mean, the creepy little commercial or whatever it was, that was really like the first thing. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's Dr. Wolfenstein, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And then
And so,
Spaulding
like,
comes up in there somewhere.
yeah,
Towards the end.
I think Dr. Wolfenstein, if I'm not mistaken. So these are probably all like little short clips or movies that he's kind of thrown in that are relative or kind of related to his werewolf women of the SS as well. So I think
That's
the
pretty cool. He
Wolfenstein
created
and
his. Yeah, this is the birth of his little universe here.
yeah. So there's definitely if you ever see that werewolf women of the SS, it's pretty hilarious, but like horrific at the same time. There's some werewolf transformations and like mutilations, but it's like you see boobs as well, and then like hairy werewolf boobs at some point.
I was just about to say. You know what I mean?
Totally, like, you know, on Rob. This is Rob Zombie here. So this is what we're getting into tonight.
Right.
And shout out to Sid Haig. So I mean, man, he's just been around an actor since like 1960 or something, and he just passed away in 2019. It was right after they filmed the trilogy, the third one.
He was like, now I can go to hell.
He was in Jackie Brown as well. He was the judge.
Yep.
Who is in there. And you just see him with painted up like a clown, and you get the whole shot of what is it? It's a gas station, chicken joint, and horror.
I didn't know it was a crispy crunchy in that motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dude, he's like, get your free chicken. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Hey, listen, if there's something wrong about that already when they say free chicken. It's like, listen, I'm not going in there.
No, not free chicken, fried chicken.
It's like
my bad. It's free chicken. I was like, hold on, there's something wrong here.
Well, I think
fried chicken.
I think it was for going on the horror ride. You got a complimentary like I don't know, drumstick.
Yeah, I'm not going on that ride either. Fuck that shit.
It was a complimentary like little doggy bag of fried chicken. Like, here you go.
But even that first scene, I mean, don't really know what's going on. I mean, like the dialogue, you know, that starts. I mean, they're just talking about some real random shit. Him and that dude that's in there, and then they get held up. They come in there, they hold them up at gunpoint. And the shorter dude, whoever it is, not Captain Spaulding, but the other guy, he recognizes one of the other guys. Hey, ain't you whatever who worked at the hardware store?
Calls him by his whole government name.
It's a small town too. What do you expect? He probably knows his pappy and knows his pappy's pappy.
And it's I don't even know who the hell the dude is who comes in from outside. I mean, we really only see him one other time in the movie, and he's the guy pushing the cart like for the ride, because the ride doesn't move by itself. You have to have someone pushing it.
He's one of the Fireflies. Just put it that way.
Yeah. And he comes in, bashing dude over the head, and then Spaulding pulls out the gun, shoots old boy, and it's I don't know. It just goes from
it's kill count 2 right there. They think they killed two dudes.
Yeah. And you realize real quick, Captain Spaulding's not a bitch. He's got the gun in his face, like, I'm gonna count to 10. He's like, 1, fuck your mama. Like, what? 2, fuck your grandmama. What? What do we do? Like, they didn't even know what's going on. Like, ain't the first time he had a gun pointed in his face. That's for sure. He was ready.
Yeah, definitely. After he shoots that guy, he like sniffs the barrel. Like,
thought it might have been his time right there.
What up, Steven?
What else, Steven?
Yeah, one of the things that we get throughout this movie, and I have mixed feelings about it. So, like, right when they're doing the credits, that's when Rob Zombie gets to throw in what kind of looks like home movies, and they kind of just, I mean, that's kind of like one of his signatures. Yeah, and like, I feel like some of the times I liked it, but then I feel like sometimes it was just like, oh, like, I don't know, like, it did it a little bit too many times. But I do like how it, in little 10-second little increments, it's almost like we build a little bit of a backstory on people as well, 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of cool, because if everything is shrouded in mystery, and it is those little cutaways that fucking, you know what I mean, give you a little more insight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but you're definitely, like, I remember watching this in the theaters. That's why I even bought it when it came out.
Okay.
And like, yeah, you know, but you're at the edge of your seat right out the gate, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just like, oh shit, these fools about to get murked, and then they get murked. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, these old fuckers ain't playing.
Hell yeah. And really the whole sequence during the credits, like none of it makes any, like, I mean, if you're just watching this at first glance, like none of it really makes any sense. It's just a lot of crazy, like mashed up, videos being thrown together. And then, I mean, you kind of figure out later, these are kind of like the beginning of like their home movies that they're shooting. Mm-hmm. And the farther we get into the movie, the more of these home movies that we see, like 10 seconds at a time, pretty much.
Yep.
And
a lot of my favorite character in there. A lot of Otis.
Yeah. He looks a lot different from the first one to the second one as well.
Yeah, he does. It's weird. I was gonna kind of go down a rabbit hole and try to figure that out, but I just kind of ran out of time today.
Time wasn't kind to him.
Steven said Rob Zombie needs to perform again. Said don't know if he does, but he said
I actually saw him back in
metal. Okay, when he played.
I saw him back in 2006 or 7, and a girlfriend of mine at the time. Well, my wife's not watching the show, but at the time she got me tickets. I don't know from where, for who or whatever, but pretty cool. Came out on stage. He's a little guy, really short. He was wearing some big old shoes to make himself look a lot taller and kind of normal size to the rest of the band. And then like a giant zombie type character that was like built up like on stilts and like made up or whatever came out on stage. It was gigantic. It was like 12 feet, maybe bigger. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know if it was like somebody in a suit on stilts or like animatronics. I don't know. It was cool though. Yeah, and who was there? I think who was this guitarist?
Was it White Zombie or just him as the Rob Zombie?
No, it was him as Rob Zombie. So I think he had like a different guitarist.
No, I mean, like White. Was it like White Zombie, like the band? Like, was it the original band, or was like? Because I think like when did he go? So he went solo like in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I can't recall. I mean, this was early 2000s, or I guess if you still want to call it that, like 2006, 2007.
And him and Alice Cooper were kind of that genre, huh? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Kind of a horror.
He's a little guy. His dreads were like literally like most of his he's mostly made up of dreads.
Mm-hmm.
you kind of reminded me of
you got the dookie locks though.
He reminded me of like a Rastafarian Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
That's funny.
So then we get I guess pretty much who are the main characters of the movie, at least for the most part. We're following their story, right? It's what the hell are their names? Jerry and Bill. Those are the two dudes. And he was like, hey, he's like, well, we're on E. He was like, I thought I told you to fill it up. He was like, I threw in like $3. And like back in the 70s, like, I don't know, I mean, $3 might have got you a lot of places, but didn't get them where they needed to go. A full tank of gas probably would have got them where they needed to go at this point. And so they pull out and they go to Captain Spaulding's spot. And the dude Jerry runs in as they're getting ready to pump the gas. And he's like, dude, this place is so boss. You got to come in. He's like, what do you mean, boss? Like, we got to wake the girls up and get the camera. You find out they're like writing a book about all this, like, I don't know, these random places that you just find along the highways and places that nobody knows about. And they're definitely like movie buffs and horror.
Is that such a white thing?
Oh yeah.
Go out in the middle of nowhere all over the place and find things.
Weird things to write about. Right?
Weird things. Let's go investigate.
That Bill character is played by Rainn Wilson, who is Dwight on The Office.
Yeah.
Oh,
word.
Hey, that's I didn't even notice that. I like Dwight too.
Behold, fit boy.
And he kind of he's asking Captain Spaulding all these questions, like, why are you asking so many little shit questions or something like that? He's like, oh, we're writing a book about, all the places. And he's like, who the hell would want to read that shit?
I immediately thought, white people.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
Much, right?
Anybody who has like a kind of weird, fetish.
They seem like they're like college kids or maybe like right out of college or something.
Adolescents.
I mean, I'm not adolescents. I mean, definitely like younger
adolescents,
adults.
like 18, 19. Okay, yeah, out of college, you said. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking out of
22.
Yeah,
That's a perfect age to be out of college.
Early.
Yeah,
20s.
this is what year is it supposed to be? It is supposed to be like the
77.
77. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, $3 to get you hella far back then.
I always forgot, so I always forgot it was taking place in 77 because it would like start that way and then I kind of forget, I could lose focus.
It's easier to kill. It's easier to be like mass murderers back in the 70s, I'm sure.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, and they're like in the sticks. Nobody's fucking going where they live. Like, I don't like the sheriff saying
there ain't no forensics yet.
Hell yeah. What up, Wendell? We're doing House of 1,000 Corpses. We're still in the beginning. Where the whole crew, where now they're going through like the murder ride. Which,
there's only been two bodies dropped so far.
Yeah. Only two.
We're gonna do a body count. Yeah.
Yep. Now they're going through this murder ride, which is like ridiculous, and they're getting all this like murder history on like these random murderers, torturers, all types of shit. And then you hear the Dr. Satan like at the end, and he's the local legend of all these guys. And these guys just get it's only white people, right? Like, yeah, we want to go investigate this murder. I want to see the tree of where these murders were taking place and stuff. He even tells them, don't do it. Like, why are you going to do this? It's like, come on, you gotta tell me how to go see this tree.
He's just being very persistent, bugging the crap out of Captain Spaulding.
Listen, you motherfucker, you tell me where the fuck that tree is. That's basically
what Captain Spaulding was saying, like, listen here, you little shit. You don't want to go there.
Yeah. What do you think you're gonna find over there? He doesn't listen. Tried to tell him.
So he draws him a little map.
What's funny too is like, because this is like after you watch it, like, yeah, they were setting him up right there. He's like, oh, you don't want to go there.
Because when you tell someone not to do something, they're always like, oh man, I want to do this like even more.
Especially when it's in their Geno.
You definitely don't want to go over here down this road, going on. Take a right, and then look for a big tree over here. You definitely don't want to do that.
You're gonna hang a left. You're gonna hang a left at Murder Row.
Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but one of the two girls that was there, she went and called her dad. I'm sure you noticed that part. But if you look very closely inside the phone booth where she's at, there's all these like pictures of like missing women and stuff like that. And it's like, it's like all right in that area. Probably didn't even pay no attention to it or anything. And there's like literal like pictures, like just right in the phone booth of all these missing people. She calls her dad though and says that they're running a little bit behind, but they'll be there at like 11 o'clock or something. So I'm assuming they're not super, super far from where the Pops lives. And said that they went to Captain Spaulding's gas station and chicken joint. So this is like,
yeah, that's the one little tidbit that she like the little beacon that they threw out there.
Yeah, nobody else did this though. Nobody else.
She was keeping Daddy posted the whole time, like all the way through.
Good kid.
Yeah.
Because
even back then, not easy to keep anybody posted when you don't just have a phone.
I mean, and how much would that phone call have costed if you weren't in the same area code, right? You're like, this call will cost 50 cents. Like, what the fuck, for real?
And then Daddy just had to be sitting at home waiting for the call, like expecting, like, okay, she's on her way. The trip's gonna take 8 hours.
Hey, back then, if you didn't have I'm pretty sure they didn't have answer machines. Somebody in the chat when they invented answer machines, that motherfucker was just ring, right? You just call that shit till the motherfucker pick it up.
Yeah. And then they start driving on down the road, and then we get introduced. It's Rob Zombie's wife, Sheri Moon Zombie, and she's just hitchhiking on the side of the road, and like the girls,
how convenient.
The girls are like, just keep driving. You're not gonna pick her up. He's like, come on, let's pick her up. And
You're going to be surprised by this, Bogard, but the first commercially successful answering machine, the electronic secretary, was created in 1949.
Whoa.
Yeah, that shocked me as well.
Yeah, that's some paper, huh? Yeah, that's some paper for that one. That motherfucker
In
was
1949, yeah.
That shit was probably like a big ass giant box.
Yeah, pretty much. From the picture I see here, yeah. It's like good size. The size of my TV, maybe not a little smaller than that back there.
So it's raining, and because it's raining, that's why they pick her up. They feel bad for her. At least that's what they say. And she gets in there, and they're asking, hey, you know where this tree is? And she was like, oh, yeah, it's like right by my house. And but you could tell she's like crazy because she was like, where's the tree at again? And she's like, what tree?
She's like, yeah, go to my house.
And yeah, she's a little bit of a loon. And then we get one of those cutaway scenes, you know, where we kind of hear like, yeah, if you got to kill someone, just kill them, or like something like that. But yeah, little short tidbits of her and her real personality. And they're not even driving for like, I don't know, a minute or two before you see someone in the woods. You don't know who it is at this point. He's got like a little like bear hood or something on, pulls out the gun, pulls out the big rifle, shoots their tire out. And oh man, now Baby, that's pretty much what she's known as. She says that her brother has a tow truck. We'll get you guys all towed up and everything. And so they run back to the house. The house.
Yeah, this is all very shades of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a combination of other, you know, Texas style slashers, I feel.
For sure.
It just has that great vibe, that southern we're gonna set you up and trap you and lure you.
Yeah, they get
and skin you alive, suckers. And there's definitely always like some sheriffs involved. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
You're in on it.
And so,
usually.
What do you think about that first part, Peacock, where like, I mean, we see them where they're now like about to like run back to the house, but then they cut into the house where we've already heard about the cheerleaders going missing, and now we see Otis talking to them.
Yeah, so we get introduced to Otis here, and you're like, who is this Otis B. Driftwood? I believe his full name is. Very fitting name, and he has Driftwood. That look. He has that look of what's that dude's name in that? Oh man, I'm even drawing a blank to the movie, but it'll come back to me. But anyways, he seems like kind of ghoulish, and he has his hair all long and it's bleached and dirty, and he's monologuing to these cheerleaders that are tied up, obviously, and have been somewhat mutilated and tortured, and he's creating art. He's doing work. He's here to do the devil's work, and he is the devil basically in not so many words is what he says. And so you get a good glimpse of what's going on, and juxtaposed to what you just saw, Baby being this beautiful, bubbly girl who's willing to, maybe kind of ditzy, but willing to help these kids who have now, have a flat tire or whatever, and she's just
they're about to get got.
Coincidentally, all these things. And I think the bear guy shooting is also that same Firefly, or one of those Fireflies that we saw kind of earlier, got a glimpse of. So kind of start putting things together, like, this little town is run by, or this little area of town, I guess, is run by all these a gang of hooligans that are all together. So you got to watch out. So
it's an area of town that nobody goes into, like you have to, that's just what I assume, right? Like they're in the off-beaten track to where, like, even if you go to Captain Spaulding's, you still have to go down a certain couple roads before you get to their neck of the woods. If you end up in their neck of the woods, you're not leaving.
You about to die.
I've been down some crazy, scary looking roads like that in my time. And once it got too dark or we got too freaked out or we were done smoking, we just got back in our truck and jetted, really quick.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of places like that around here. There are.
So you see them go to the house, what's his name? Billy and Baby. And it's the dude in the bear costume who comes up and who has the tow truck comes up, like slams his hand on the on the fucking hood or whatever.
Yeah, the girls stay behind with what's the other guy's name?
Jerry.
Jerry, there you go. So it's Jerry and the two girls, and Billy takes off with baby back to the house. And
yeah, she's acting all super ditzy and super horny.
Yeah, he wants to get it. He's trying to get a pee-pee touch. You know what I mean?
Even though that is his girlfriend. I mean, at least we'll talk about it a little later, but I mean, she lets it be known that that's her man.
Yeah.
But it's just it's gonna get real intense real quick, and I think this is a good time to end it for act number 1 here, because now we're about to actually they're about to actually go into the house now, the house,
the Firefly house.
It's gonna get crazy. And so if you guys have not already, make sure you go subscribe to the audio version of the podcast and Silver Screen Breakdowns, and that's on Apple, that's on Spotify. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review. We'll read it out on the show. Make sure we give everyone a shout out for shouting us out. We appreciate the 5-star reviews. That's how people can actually find us, like newer people. And subscribe to the Silver Screen Breakdown YouTube channel as well. And everyone who's watching, hang with us because we're doing all 3 acts right now. And Peacock, remind everybody where to find you and everything you got going on.
Of course, you can constantly find me surfing the internet. No, you can find my stuff, my merch at neonpeacockmerch.com. I have a lot of cool stuff going on. I think if you still have a chance to order today, you can get some Halloween stuff before Halloween Day. I know Derek, one of our avid friends and companions, has ordered some stuff, and he just got it in. I think he ordered it last week. He already got it in today. So that was his Bong RIP shirt from the website. And there's still a $14 t-shirt sale going on. I've extended it. It's back from the dead. And if you go over to the website, that's neonpeacockmerch.com. You can go check out everything from, like I said, not only t-shirts that are at $14, but the whole website's at 30% off. You can get art prints in all sizes, like the ones I have all behind me in decoration. And some of these are actually up there as well. So go check it out.
Nice. Bogey, let them know.
Yeah. Just check me out at the GMM Network everywhere. Search Bogard Scott Free. Check out all the new music available on all streaming platforms. Spotify, give me money. And definitely tune in to Act 2 of House of 1,000 Corpses. Well, will the poor co-eds get their book written? Tune in.
We will see you then. Peace out.
Silver screen, motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.